Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading for this full moon in Aries. So, because it's a collective reading, I'm doing this reading with my big deck, combining the tarot cards and the Astrological Oracle cards. So, you see both of them here. So the message that is showing up here, it's actually bringing forward this conversation, a dialogue between two people. And it seems like it's being sparked um, in a very out of the blue way, because there is somebody, which seems to be you, that really needs to express something to somebody, and with the intention of making amends with this person, perhaps somebody that you are, bonded with, that you relate to in a very intimate way, perhaps somebody from your family. But there is a little bit of like the reaction that this person is having, they might be a little bit spooked by that, or just because they were it's like this conversation was not announced or was not discussed before. It's this person seems to have a little bit of a harder time to open up straight away to you if you are proposing to have this conversation out of the blue, right? And it seems like there is this third party that enters the scene to soothe the situation and to show a third perspective that seems to change everything about this conversation. So, we're beginning with the Queen of Wands. So, this Queen of Wands is the person that I'm addressing this reading to. And the way that it fell from the deck, because it bounced off and it's like, it fell from the deck in a very quick way, in a very hasty way, I want to say. So it seems like the need to express something that this person realizes that they have such urgency, perhaps, to say something or to make the amends. It seems like something that is making them feel like they need to do this right now, right? They cannot wait any longer. Or if they have been postponing this, it's like they cannot wait any longer, right? It's like, and if you're the one who is feeling that need, it's like, just be careful with your energy, because it's the Queen of Wands. So there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of combustion, right? And we are in a full moon in Aries, which means that the fire is in the air, and it can be very or it can be perceived, right? Your action can be perceived, especially by this one, as something that can be aggressive, or it can be like an intrusion, right, of their energy, especially because there seems to have like a little bit of a hierarchy, like a difference in who controls who, or like who sets the rule, right? So if this is a family relationship, which I feel like it could very well be, because we have the 10 of Cups here and the Knight of Wands coming next. So this is the person that you are approaching, that you want to have this conversation with. And because they are from the same suit, because also we have the 10 of Cups in the center, this could be, a blood connection, right? Somebody that is from your family, that perhaps, is your child, or maybe if you're on this side of the equation, right? Maybe it's your parent that is coming towards you. But I'm going to stick with the side of this reading as if you're this Queen of Wands, right? But remember, if you feel like you could be this Knight of Wands, then just it's like, try to see things from the perspective of this one, because although they're coming, and you as the Queen of Wands might be coming as very, like, with a very big energy, right? Very dramatic, or like being very like some sort of very immediate task, or like not a task, what is the word, it's like they have set out this mission for themselves, that they need to go towards this one, right? So this queen needs to say something to the Knight of Wands that needs to be right now. For some reason, there is this sense of urgency for this Queen of Wands. But this, it's gorgeous that this Ten of Cups is in the middle, because the water element here in the center is coming to soothe, right? Because if it was fire with fire, it could be like, you know, this volcano exploding, right? And it could be too much of the energy of the queen to the knight, right? It's like the knight could feel like enveloped by the energy or the fire of this queen. It's like a very destructive type of interaction instead of a constructive one. But because the Ten of Cups is here in the center, and it's also bringing this family tie, right? It's like the water element here is supposed to soothe the relationship. So, and also the intention that this one is having, although, you know, if you're this one, maybe you don't really know how to express the water, right? Or your emotions, or how you feel about this dynamic, because your intention, if you're identifying with this Queen of Wands, is to soothe this connection, maybe to make amends with this person, maybe to just reconnect with them in a way that is trying to heal the bond, right? Heal the connection. But it's not obvious at first, especially to this one, perhaps because they know you, right? And because there is this difference in hierarchy or power or control, or you know, who sets the rules, right? They see the potential, but they are closed off at first, because we have Jupiter, which is from the Astrological Oracle card. And Jupiter is a planet that talks about expansion, but also talks about rules and principles and like values, right? These spiritual values that are somehow not tangible, right? They are invisible. And I feel like it's like the rules that have dominated the way that you relate to this person, they have created some sort of combustion or like this ignition, right? Because it's like every time that you're with this person, something expands, right? And it could be like in a very good way, as in like there is growth for both parties, or there is like this exaggeration, right? It's like it crosses a certain line that is not healthy for either of you. But so they do, it's like maybe they have an expectation that this is going to grow out of proportion as it did in the past. But because you're bringing this Ten of Cups to soothe the relationship, it's like the first instinct that they have, which is to be protective, right? Which is to and maybe protective in a way that they comply, right? Maybe they are a person that it's like, to avoid any more damage, they're just going to listen to what you have to say silently, quietly, right? But protecting themselves, right? Because this cross, it's like I'm seeing them crossing their arms, crossing their legs, as like the body language is showing that this person's reaction to your approach, to your it's like to what you're asking of them, and it's almost like you're asking of them something, like a moment of attention, right? So that you can have this conversation, but it's like you're not giving them any other option. It's how they're feeling, right? They're feeling like they are they have no exit, right? They're being pushed against the wall. It's so, but because of that, it's like they know a little bit about you, that they know how to defend themselves. But it's like beyond that, right? Beyond the shield, in a sense, it's like they see potential because It's like you're bringing this water element. So it's almost like you're also proposing something that is meant to heal, meant to cleanse the relationship. So here, after this Jupiter, this Three of Wands shows up. And I feel like this is the third party that enters the scene. So here, we already have the two of you, right? You and this other person that are from the same suit, the same family, the same group, the same friend group. But I feel like it's more intimate than that, right? So perhaps, an old time, like a childhood friend. But it's like, and if not like, a parent child relationship, this sibling relationship, or like you know what I mean, right? It's a very close connection. So coming from the same tribe, in a sense, the same blood, the same group, right? That's the reason why you're coming with the same suit. So here we do have the two of you, but then there is the third one, and this third one seems to be somebody that is neutral, coming from a different place, a different background, a different realm perhaps. And maybe this could be, because the Magician is connected to the universe, this could be, like an energetic type of intervention or presence that enters the room to be part of this conversation, to remind of this dynamic, because the Two of Wands is coming next. And I feel like it's very interesting how this Magician enters the scene in a very crucial moment where maybe things could, just blow up, and, things could get out of control because of the expansion of Jupiter. But because the intention here is to heal and to soothe the dynamic between you, it's like there is this higher intelligence coming with the Magician. And perhaps it is somebody, from the family, because it's like they're coming with the same suit as well. So it's like they really understand the two of you, or the type of dynamic that is connecting the both of you. But they're coming here to show a new perspective, a third point of view, because here it seems to have a little bit of an imbalance because of the hierarchy, because of the age difference, because of the roles that you're playing, right? If there is this distinction between parent and child. So it's like maybe we're talking just about respect, right? And not wanting to cross that line with somebody that you respect. But because perhaps of history, it's like things could just get out of that proportion very quickly, right? Because of the combustion. But the water is soothing, but it's almost like maybe both of you don't know how to use the water, right? Or don't know how to express your emotions, especially, I want to say, being this Queen of Wands, because the conversation just begins because of the intention of this one to soothe this conversation, to soothe this relationship, to mend some sort of dynamic with a person that perhaps have never seen you express your feelings or express your emotions in a very authentic way, in a very honest way. It's like if it always ends up in drama, it's like this is the time where the Magician is going to enter the scene in a very specific moment to stop this from getting out of proportion, right? It's like the expansion is going to be in the healing, in the soothing, and not in the combustion, right? I hope that makes sense. So if you see here, this Magician has 3 stars here. Let me see if I can. No, okay. Anyways, so there are 3 stars here in this, over this hat of the Magician, but then there is a little bit of this spark that is here, And I feel like what the magician is doing, or the role that they're playing in this conversation, is to remind you and this other person that you can look at one another in a very gentle way, in a very compassionate way, in a way that is transforming the passion, right? Because the fire can be a lot of passion, right? That just makes everything very big, right? And very dramatic. But here, the magician wants both of you to understand that this conversation can happen in a way that you can look to one another as mirrors, but without exploding, right, without crossing that line that creates the combustion, creates the explosion of this volcano. But I feel like it's because the Three of Wands is proposing a new vision. This could be like very energetic, right? And it's almost like a Holy Spirit is what I'm receiving. It's like some sort of energy or entity that enters the room, and it's like it mimics the energy, but it corrects the fire. So it's like it's a process of having another perspective, having another point of view, right? It's like if the both of you, because here, if you see the thumbnail, you see that the conversation is happening like this, right? Just the way that these two wands are lined up. So one on top of the other. So that's the reason why I feel like there is this imbalance. But this magician is saying, look beyond, look towards something else. There is a third point of view, and maybe even like there is somebody else that can be benefited by how this relationship can be healed, right? So if if this is something that you're having a conversation with your partner and you both have a child, right? It's like the child can be it's like it's to their advantage that you get along with one another. And this is what this magician is course correcting or reminding the both of you, that there is somebody else that is going to be benefited because of this situation, just healing, right? But it needs to heal with both of you looking to one another without being sparked in a very exaggerated way, right? It's in a way that illuminates the other, but makes both of you grow and expand and not destroy one another, right? I hope that's not too dramatic, but I hope that makes sense. So I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go, where this conversation wants to go, because it seems like the both of you are left alone after this magician makes its magic happen, right? So we'll see what comes through. And I'm going to pull also from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye. Happy full moon.